When Lisa regained consciousness, she found herself trapped inside the trunk of a car. No matter how hard she struggled, there was no way out. What terrified her even more was the realization that one of her kidneys had been surgically removed. Worse still, when she had tried to force open the trunk earlier, the stitches tore apart. Blood was now gushing from the wound. In a panic, Lisa tried calling Jack, but he never answered. With no other option, she dialed the police for help, yet she had no idea where she was, and the car was still moving. The officer explained that they could only track her phone to the nearest signal tower. Lisa quickly opened her phone's map, hoping to narrow down her location. Just then, her father called. He told her he had received a ransom message. If he paid $500,000, the kidnappers would release her. But her father assumed that Lisa had eloped with Jack and was using this as an excuse to extort him. No matter how she explained, he refused to believe her. Furious and desperate, Lisa hung up. As a doctor, she knew she would die if she lost too much blood. She searched the trunk for anything she could use to stop the bleeding, but all she found was a bottle of liquor. Forcing herself to stay calm, she removed the shoelace from her sneaker and took off her earring. First, she poured the liquor over the wound to disinfect it. Then she threaded the shoelace through the torn sutures, pulling the wound closed, and used the earring to pin it in place. The pain was excruciating, she nearly blacked out. At that moment, she overheard the traffickers talking on the phone. They planned to harvest more of her organs at 4:30. Glancing at her watch, Lisa realized she had only 1 hour left. Suddenly, she noticed her video camera flashing in the corner. It had captured her entire abduction. Scrolling through the footage, she even found a clear image of one of the kidnappers' faces. She quickly sent the photo to her father. By then, the police had contacted him as well, and only then did he finally believe his daughter had truly been kidnapped. The car came to a sudden stop. Listening carefully, Lisa guessed they were at a gas station, and she could hear several voices outside. Seeing a chance, she screamed for help. When the trunk finally opened, she was stunned. It wasn't rescuers but the kidnappers. One of them pressed his hand down hard on her wound, making her scream in agony and beg for mercy. The car started moving again. This time Lisa noticed a spare tire compartment beneath her. She ripped up the carpet, pried it open, and groped inside. The only thing she found was a steel pipe. Using it, she smashed the taillight cover and pulled out the bulb plate. With sheer determination, she managed to punch a hole through the casing. Through the small opening, she saw the car had stopped at a traffic light. Another vehicle pulled up behind them. Lisa stretched her hand through the hole, waving desperately for help. The driver seemed to notice. Holding an umbrella, he began walking toward the trunk. But before he could reach it, the kidnappers suddenly reversed and rammed the car behind them. Lisa's fleeting hope was crushed. Before she could react, the car sped off against traffic. At that moment, Jack finally called back. To her shock, he claimed he had also been kidnapped, warning her not to alert the police. The kidnappers, he said, promised they would be safe once the ransom was paid. Clinging to the last shred of hope, Lisa called her father again, begging him to pay. Desperate to save her, he transferred the money. But soon after, the police called Lisa to inform her that the kidnappers had taken the ransom without making any move to release her. Confused and desperate, Lisa replayed the video camera footage. What she saw left her horrified. During her abduction, Jack was casually chatting on the phone right next to the kidnappers. It hit her, Jack had never been a victim. He was working with them all along. Not long after, the police called to say they had traced the vehicle but needed time to coordinate with Border Patrol. Lisa realized that by the time officers arrived, she might already be dead. Then an idea struck her. If Jack thought she was pregnant, maybe he would hesitate. She downloaded a sonogram image and sent it to him. It worked. Jack called almost immediately. Suspicious at first, he eventually believed her story. He wanted to spare her, but the other traffickers insisted she had seen their faces. They could never let her live. During the drive, Jack turned on them, fighting the driver. The car swerved and came to a halt. Jack flung open the trunk, but before Lisa could celebrate, a gunshot rang out. The kidnappers shot Jack and threw his body into the trunk with her. Lisa clutched his lifeless body, overcome with despair, until she noticed a knife hidden in his clothes. Seizing it, she cut open the spare tire compartment and pushed the steel pipe into the tire. She wasn't sure it would work, but after repeated attempts, the tire finally burst. The car lost control and plunged downward. Water rushed into the trunk. Lisa guessed they had crashed into a lake. Kicking open the speaker grill, she pulled herself into the cabin and escaped. Just as she surfaced, police units, guided by her phone's location, arrived at the scene. Lisa was finally rescued.